Welcome back. It is Wednesday, June 12th in the MLB, and my four favorite picks are on the way. What's going on, everyone? It's Logan from Calling Our Shot today, joined by a special guest. No, that special guest is not Austin. It's a whole lot better. Let's bring out those brooms. 4-0 sweep yesterday. Oh my gosh, we needed that in the absolute worst way. Whew. I mean, baseball is crazy like that, right? You can go 0-3 one day and 4-0 the next day doing the exact same process. Let's talk about the picks, do a quick little mini recap. We had the hit parlay of the day. That one cashed. Those have been straight money for most of the season. We also had the Mets Nerfy Nation. Got to fly the flags in that one. Love to see that one. That was pretty no sweat. Jesus Luzardo, of course, our Nerfy goat, got it done. We had the Blue Jays on the first five money line with as many base runners as they stranded. I was worried. Kikuchi was going to fall apart. He held it down. Great job, you say. And then we had the New York Yankees and Royals over. Should have just said Yankees over because they hit it themselves. Thanks a lot for a whole lot of nothing, Royals. The Yankees really did backpack that over. But we absolutely love to see that. A 4-0 day. As always, guys, I want to mention baseball, crazy sport to bet because the variance is there. You saw them 0-3 and then 4-0. It's the how the season ebbs and flows. We take the highs, we take the lows, and we hope we can build off of this 4-0 day. Let's continue to make some money today. As far as the Dinger Tuesday yesterday, my pick unfortunately did not hit. I should have picked Schwarber, damn it. But I need to sift through over 100 comments of Dinger plays, see who did end up hitting that one. Not a whole lot of home runs yesterday, but I'll see who had the highest odds in that one, and I'll go comment. So just check your comment if I do comment back to you, and you'll be eligible for the giveaway there. But without further ado, let's dive into the picks today. First play of the day, of course, you guys already know. It's the parlay of the day, posted later this morning on Odds Checker. Go down in the pinned comment when it is posted. Check back later this morning, and I will put a couple hitters in there that I do like. We've been straight money on these, right? Knock on wood. Hopefully we can continue that. I already know one hitter that I really like today. I need to find my second hitter, but that will be posted later this morning. If you follow us on Twitter, I do post on Twitter as well when that is live. Now let's go on to our next pick. It's going to be a money line. How about that? It's going to be the Toronto Blue Jays on the money line, minus 104 odds on FanDuel is your best value. Now, guys, we backed the Blue Jays yesterday on the first five money line. They ended up getting that. I said, I'm kind of worried about their bullpen. I don't know if I want to trust them full game. Well, they won full game as well. Their bullpen did hold it down. I like them to get the win today, and you'll see the reason why. First of all, they're going to be facing Tobias Myers. Tobias Myers starts for the Brewers, 4.15 ERA and a 1.24 WHIP. Myers is coming off an 8 innings pitched, one hitter, 0 earned runs against Detroit, a masterclass. A Tobias Myers masterclass. Didn't know he had that in him. And quite frankly, I see a start like that. And you know what I do with young pitchers like that? I try to fade them the next day because I know it's pretty hard to duplicate a performance like that. Sometimes you're just on. You're on and you're clicking. Tobias Myers was on his A game in that one. But the StatCast numbers are still sort of suspect for him. He's only 15th percentile in whiff percentage, 23rd percentile in barrel percentage, 18th percentile in ground ball percentage. What those numbers are telling me is he's not missing a ton of bats more often than not. With a ground ball percentage that low, he could be in danger, especially pitching at home where he's bad. I mean, Myers, 6.75 ERA compared to a 2.53 ERA on the road. Milwaukee, obviously a hitter-friendly ballpark. I think the Blue Jays can certainly get to him today. I think they can touch him up for several extra base hits. And also worth noting, not the reason I'm picking this, but Myers has a 6.57 ERA in day games compared to a 2.82 ERA in night games. Look, for whatever reason, you have to check the day-night splits of some of these pitchers. If there's a crazy difference between day and night games, I do like to kind of roll with that trend because some pitchers in the early start, they're just thrown off their game. Tobias Myers seems to be a little bit affected by that. I think this Blue Jays team can certainly get to him. Yesterday, the Blue Jays were 5 for 12 with runners in scoring position, but only had 3 runs to show for it. I still like what I saw from the bats. You had a lot of hard hit extra base hits. You had a lot of hard hit balls that were actually unfortunate. Like Vladdy had one I remember that was like lined right to Adames. I still think this offense is showing me what I need to see from this Blue Jays. They're such a streaky offense, which is why it's tough to back them. but I like them today. I think they get to Tobias Myers. And on the other side, we got Chris Bassett. He's starting for the Jays, 3.8 ERA and 1.38 WHIP. Bassett slightly better on the road, 3.44 ERA on the road versus a 4.12 ERA at home. I need to see Chris Bassett continue that today and be a solid pitcher on the road. Now, what he does struggle, and it's out there, he struggles versus lefties, but he's dominant against righties. 299 batting average to lefties compared to a 227 batting average to righties. Those splits matter because the Brewers, I think more of the right-handed bats are the ones that scare me. Those are the ones that do a ton of damage. But we look at the lefties that projected to be in the lineup today. You got Terang, Yelich, Frelick, and Bowers. Now, who out of there really scares me? It's probably Yelich. I mean, Sal Frelick every now and then has his game where he's cracked out of his mind. But normally it's Yelich, and Yelich is only 1 for 6 against Bassett. So it's not like he's seen him and scorched him before. If he was like 6 for 10 against Bassett, I would be a little bit worried. But I still think Chris Bassett goes out and has a solid showing in this one. He's a savvy veteran pitcher. He knows how to, pitch in and out of jams, kind of like Kikuchi did yesterday, because Kikuchi was in a jam every single inning, it felt like, but he got out of it, and that's what good veteran pitchers do. And then we go to the bullpens. Milwaukee, 4th in bullpen ERA. Toronto, 26th in bullpen ERA. I told you yesterday, I was kind of scared of that Toronto bullpen. Not sure if I could trust them. But what I do know is that the Blue Jays bullpen has held the Brewers scoreless so far this series. I like what I'm seeing from them, and you know what? I'll go ahead and take a shot on the full game money line. I like the price. I like the slight underdog role that the Blue Jays are here. Give me the Blue Jays on the money line as my first pick. Now let's go to our second pick, which is a total. Yesterday, easy, no sweat winner on an over. Today, hopefully we can continue that. I'm taking the Phillies and Red Sox over 8.5, minus 105 odds on BetMGM is your best value. Now, you look at yesterday, that game ended 4-1. Obviously did not go over. The teams went a combined 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position. Today, I declare we will see more runs. If they come from the bulk of the runs come from the Phillies, I don't really care. But I think they do come on both sides in this one. Now let's talk about the Red Sox. It's Nick Pivetta starting for them. 3.4 ERA, 0.94 WHIP for Nick Pivetta. Obviously pretty solid numbers. And Pivetta coming off a really solid start. 7 innings pitched, 0 runs, shutout win against the Braves. Now, again, I do like to fade pitchers coming off a really, really solid start because, baseball is like a game of variance, right? You can't pitch well every single game. You're going to have slip-ups in there. Even the best pitchers have that. And I still think Pivetta is liable for, 3-4 earned runs himself. And this Phillies offense will challenge Pivetta, of course. They have sluggers in every spot of that lineup. And I do want to mention a specific slugger. Hey, Kyle Schwarber. It's June Schwarber time finally. Yesterday, he woke up in a big way. I think if you're getting leadoff production from Kyle Schwarber like that, we should be in a great chance to cash this bet. And we got Pivetta. He throws the four-seamer and the sweeper. The majority of this Phillies lineup hits those pitches really well, especially the four-seam fastball. They have a lot of positive run value, which if you look at Baseball Savant, you can go in and you can look at hitter by hitter, you can look at team by team and see how they stack up against the pitches like that. Well, Pivetta is like a 50% fastball guy, so you got to be able to hit that, and this Phillies lineup is hitting that as well. They're also second best in runs scored. I think I can trust them to put up their fair share of runs. And then on the other side, can we get some production from the Red Sox? Can it be unlike that Yankees game yesterday? I mean, can we get something, Red Sox? Christopher Sanchez starts for the Phillies, 2.71 ERA and a 1.34 WHIP for Christopher Sanchez. You look at how the Red Sox are hitting versus lefties. They're actually hitting lefties really well. They're hitting 296 against lefties in their last 5 games. I need to see that because I need to be able to trust them to do something off of Christopher Sanchez, especially because he's been so good as of late. He's allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in 4 straight starts. Now, what I do want to mention about those starts, 3 of those 4 games were caught by JT Realmuto. Now, obviously, JT's injured. He won't be catching him anymore. It's going to be the Stubbs show. Sanchez has a slightly higher ERA with Stubbs catching. In baseball, it does matter who's catching these pitchers because they have built a rapport with them, right? They, the best pitchers in the game, the best pitcher-catcher combos in the game, you see them, on the pitch comm. They know they anticipate what each other, has or wants to throw, how they can get certain batters out. The Stubbs and Sanchez combination is not as strong as the Realmuto and Sanchez combination. And that's honestly what I'm banking on. I'm banking on that combination not being as great. I think that ERA is a little bit higher for a reason. I don't think Garrett Stubbs, obviously the best defensive catcher in the league, like Real Muto is anyway. And then the Phillies. We'll go to the bullpens because I still think the Red Sox get stuff off of Christopher Sanchez. I think each of these pitchers is liable for 3 earned runs themselves. Can we get the extra, little oomph to get us in that over in the bullpens? Phillies 8th in bullpen ERA, Red Sox 9th in bullpen ERA. Both these bullpens are actually top 10 in bullpen ERA. But what I do know, and from betting baseball and from just being fans of the Phillies, there's run opportunities late in this game as well. I mean, we saw in that London series, you can never quite trust the Phillies bullpen to just completely come in and shut down a game. They always make things interesting. I still think there should be run opportunities late in this one. Same goes with the Red Sox bullpen. Give me the over in the Phillies Red Sox over 8.5. I think each of these teams is very capable of scoring 4+ runs themselves, and then that would cash the over because you can't end 4-4. I really do like that as my third bet. Now let's go to our fourth and final pick. It's going to be another money line. It's going to be a team we backed and had a lot of success with. It's going to be the Cincinnati Reds on the money line, -108 odds on FanDuel is your best value there. Now we got to pick them in the Battle of Ohio. I like the Reds to be able to salvage the split in the Ohio little 2-game mini series against the Guardians. Let's talk about who's starting for the Reds today. It's Nick Lodolo. I love backing this guy. 2.92 ERA, 0.99 WHIP for Lodolo. Really solid numbers. I mean, and what I have noticed is the Reds win with this guy on the mound. Reds have won 6 of 8 Lodolo starts, including 3 in a row. Look, so there's certain pitchers that they just get run support and they get good production when they are on the mound. That guy is Nick Lodolo, and he's elite at strikeouts and missing bats. There's a reason I want to back him. 74th percentile in K percentage, 76th percentile in whiff percentage, 70th percentile in chase percentage. He is able to get the swing and a miss, which is very crucial against the Guardians team that does not strike out a lot. They're really good at putting the ball in play. I think we see Lodolo tough, obviously, on those left-handed bats. I think we see Lodolo come out and have a really sharp showing. Guardians also only hitting .211 against lefties in their last 5 games. We need that to continue today. We need Lodolo to do his job and hold them down. I think he does. And then on the other side, it's going to be Tanner Bybee starting for the Guardians, 3.73 ERA, 1.19 WHIP. Obviously, Tanner Bybee up and down. I mean, he's had some good starts. He's had some bad starts. In his most recent start, eyeball test is a lot different than the box score because I watched that game. Bybee went 6 innings pitched, 3 runs, 2 of them earned on 6 hits against the Royals in his most recent start. That one was at home. What the numbers don't show you is how bad Bybee actually was in that game. The Royals had guys on base pretty much every single inning, it felt like. In that game, the Royals went a combined 3 for 19 with runners in scoring position, which is insane that they almost had 20 opportunities with a runner in scoring position. Bybee looked bad. The numbers just didn't show it in the box score. I think we look at the Reds team. They're great at hitting with runners in scoring position. They're great at just shortening up that swing and getting the timely hits. It's what they do. It's why the Reds you can never count out the Reds out of these games. And we'll also look at Tanner Bybee's 25th percentile on ground ball percentage. That's trouble in a very hitter friendly ballpark like Great American Ballpark. I think obviously he has a tough time keeping the ball on the ground. Hopefully these hitters can make him pay when he makes a mistake right across the middle of the plate. Put it in the seats, Reds. Reds hitting .273 versus righties in June. I like what I'm seeing from their bats because they weren't all that great against righties earlier in the season. They've started to heat up against right-handed pitching. And then we go to the battle of the bullpens, right? Late game, can the Reds close it out? I still think they can, even though Cleveland has the advantage. Cleveland first in bullpen ERA. They're the best bullpen in the league statistically. But you got this Reds 10th in bullpen ERA, not far behind. I still think they'll get enough runs off of Bybee, and I think the bullpen will be solid enough. I've told you every time I back the Reds, I like their bullpen. I think they're solid enough to be able to hold down the game, not completely sell it. And I always like the Reds bats. You can never quite count them out of a game. They could be down 3 or 4 runs, even in the late game. And you know what the Rally Reds do? They don't really care. They just look at the scoreboard and they say, we can certainly do it. Hopefully the Reds do come through for us. I love them on the money line today. Then that will do it for the picks. Let's do a quick little mini recap of what we were rolling with today. We got the parlay of the day posted later this morning. Come back and check that one out. We got the Blue Jays on the money line. We've got the Phillies and Red Sox over 8.5. And then we have the Reds on the money line. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully we can continue that crazy momentum we had yesterday. 4-0 sweep. Let's bring the brims out once again today and make some money. Catch you guys tomorrow. Peace out.